Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. And what I've done today, just in terms of, because as you know, I've been adjusting the sound. So I got a microphone, didn't I? I got a microphone, and then some people weren't able to hear properly from that as well. And what I've realized overall, as long as I'm speaking clearly and just in my full voice, the actual microphone on my camera is really good. So what I did, I just did a few little sound checks, made sure that the volume was up to the top. And when I heard the playback, I could hear my voice really well. So it should be the same for you guys. If you do still struggle, yeah, please check your devices. Make sure, of course, that they're up to date. Now, I know that might sound really silly, but some people do listen on quite old devices, and they may not be picking up the full dynamic range of the sound. Part of when we're actually listening to someone's voice, we're actually listening for all the little modulations in between, because it's actually the subtleties of the voice that actually help us hear people clearly. So if the sound or the speaker is not giving that full sound play out, then it's not going to sound as good. But I'm speaking clearly, my volume's up to top. Most of you can hear me just fine. But also as well, there is the captions option. I have them, I have it happen automatically. So what I would suggest is, if you're still struggling to hear, then listen to me with the captions on as well. And also as well, there is the option as well of plugging the headphones into your device and listening on headphones as well. But it is up to maximum volume, and there is only so loud a person can speak without straining their voice. But it should be all good. I just listened on the playback, and it was pretty good. Okay, so let's begin. Now, normally I would say stuck in. Let's get stuck in. But some people just thought, why are you talking about getting stuck? You know, it's just an English phrase. it's just an English phrase. We say stuck in or tuck in. It's like when you're about to start a meal that looks really kind of appetizing. You want to get stuck. You want to get stuck in. But let's begin. So first of all, of course, we all had our meeting on Saturday, and which was brilliant, yeah, on Marie's table and stuff like that. It was fantastic. We really enjoyed the show, but unfortunately there was a copyright infringement because of our the performance, yeah, shall we say, which was beautiful, yeah, by Ganga. Beautiful. However, YouTube are very hot on this, yeah, very hot on this. The second, because I used to do like videos about singers and stuff like that, you know, Whitney Houston, blah blah blah, and you know, whoever, and you can actually see in my back catalogue, and they almost immediately flag up these kind of things for copyright and stuff like that, or copyright infringement, or what have you. Now, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean your channel will be struck off. It just means that sometimes you might have to remove that part of that thing that infringed, or it means you can't monetize that whatever topic it is that you're talking about. So there was that element there. Marie deleted the videos, so that's the end of that, and it's her channel. You know, it's her channel at the end of the day, and she has to do what she feels is right for her channel. Now, for those of you that wanted to tune in but missed it, let me just have another slurp of my coffee. I keep forgetting. Here I am coughing again, milking my coffee. Sorry, folks. I just needed a coffee. I'm actually shooting this in the morning. Actually, what time is it? It is 11:43 a.m. now for me, UK time, and it is the 28th of June 2021. So what I wanted to do was a recap, because those of you that got to see the video live, they really enjoyed some of the details that I went into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recap, which we were looking at the USA economy and stuff like that, and looking at dates in September. But it also reminded me to talk about July again, July 3rd, 4th in particular. But also in other announcements, because of course, you know, many people leave their comments, and I want to just say a thank you as well to all of my current subscribers who've been with me from the beginning, and all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. You are welcome. I really appreciate it. And also as well, of course, you know, it is, as we know, I focus a lot on the States, but I also like to look at the rest of the world as well, because of course it is Hogarth's global astrology after all. Sorry. It's the morning. My voice is never awake in the morning, and I normally do these things in the afternoon, but we're just going to have to kind of get through it. So sorry that the voice is croaky. What I'm going to do, I think what I'll do for my next video, I think I'm going to do a Brits special. So if I want to make sure I say your name correctly. So Wendy Milkins, yeah, I read one of your comments and you were like, look, can you do a little bit more about the UK and the royal family and all that kind of stuff? Yes, absolutely. We need to top up. A lot of kind of stuff has happened in the UK, and I think audiences around the world will really appreciate and have a look in terms of what's going on, and it's juicy. So this will be not in this video, but it'll be for the next video coming up. I'll do a Brit special. And what am I going to cover in that Brit special? We need to talk about the health secretary, Matt Hancock. Oh my God, completely juicy. Caught having an affair when everyone was supposed to be in lockdown. Yeah? Like drama. So we'll talk about that. We also need to talk about the Ministry of Defense. Yeah, the Ministry of Defense. So someone, a senior civil servant, left classified papers in Kent somewhere. So again, when I do the special, I'll go into the details of where that is. You couldn't make it up. It's just ridiculous. We have to, of course, talk about Brexit. Globally, of course, there's been everything talking about COVID and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, there are some negative impacts of Brexit that aren't really being discussed in the UK. So I'll investigate that, do a pull on that. I'll also as well look at, oh my goodness. I will also look at, I think I might have to actually have a ginger tea or something like that, because it's just a bit too much. But let me just finish this little bit first. I will also look at Bitcoin as well. I'm going to talk about currency in the USA chart, but I'm going to talk about Bitcoin as well, because the USA has banned Binance, yeah, which is one of the main trading platforms for like e-currency. So we'll look at that, and I think I will finish off with the birth chart of Lilibet Diana, yes, because as we know, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Harry and Meghan and Harry, have just had a daughter recently, and they named her, of course, after the Queen, gave her the Queen's little name, Lilibet, and of course, Harry's mother, Diana. So Lilibet Diana, so we can look at that. And in another little announcement as well, someone reminded me that I need to look at India's Prime Minister, yeah, Mr. Modi. So that will probably be in the subsequent video. After that, we'll look at Prime Minister Modi. And someone else, I wish I did actually write down the notes, but I think it was more on here, and I don't want to break the flow. And then someone was also asking, and you'll know who you are, doing videos on inspirational figures. Yeah, so in a way, that's a really good point to kind of lighten up a lot of the darkness and shade that's been going on of late. So they've suggested Jill Biden. Yeah, so, and I think that is a good one as well, because of course she's married to Joe Biden, and of course he is the president of the United States. So that's really important as well. So I'm going to get stuck in future videos with that. Now, just to go back over what was covered in terms of on Marie's table, where I was talking about the USA chart and why we were worried about September, etc. So I'm just going to go back over that, and then I'm going to pull some cards, and in a way that's kind of like just giving people that a bit of extra information that they saw, and maybe they wanted to reference again, because there is actually really quite a lot of important stuff going on. Now, if we look here with, now this is the USA chart. So yeah, of 1776, 4th of July, 6:30 p.m. Philadelphia. Yeah, this is one a lot of astrologers use. Now, there is contention over when was that paper exactly signed or whatever, but what one finds is that this chart here works very well. Now, what I've done is we've got the natal positions. Yeah, the natal positions are here as where they were at the time that the USA was kind of born in that sense. But what you'll see I've done is we're on tracing paper. I have put the transiting planets in place, just so you can see here, and I've just attached them with a bit of blue tack, you know, behind. So you can see where the transiting planets are. And I've put the transiting planets in place for the, actually for the 4th of July. Have I done that? Yeah, so I might actually have to move the moon, because I was actually looking at something else, because this was at the time when we was doing the presentation. The moon was in a different place. The moon is going to be here. Yeah, the moon is going to be here with Uranus. Transiting moon. Yeah, so I'm going to put those two on top of each other. Now, I need to get back into the flow of what it was that I was discussing. So we were looking, first of all, let's deal with the 4th of July, 3rd/4th of July. Why is it such a big deal? Yeah, why is it such a big deal? And then we'll talk about September and the economy and planets going retrograde. So what I've done here is this is, what am I looking at here? Yeah, so this is the USA chart on the day. Yeah, this is what the US chart is going to look like on the 3rd, 4th of July. And we will cross-reference between the two charts, yeah? So you can see why this is important. And here you'll see I've put Mars in here. Now this Mars belongs to Joe Biden. Okay, so 4th of July. Why is this a big deal? The reason why it's a big deal is that what is happening, we've got, there are what are often referred to as hard aspects, yeah? Hard aspects. What are hard aspects? Hard aspects are conjunctions, yeah, where planets are together in the same house. Oppositions, yeah, when they are opposite each other, so they're staring at each other, yeah. This creates a kind of a tug of war kind of energy. And then you have squares, yeah, squares, when planets are 4 signs from each other, yeah. And squares are very energizing. They can be quite antagonistic. They can be challenging, but when one overcomes the challenge, there can be quite a big reward. I have to have a little slurp here. Hopefully it won't make me cough and splutter like before. I think the voice has woken up a bit now. So squares are challenging. So this is the USA chart, and there is something in there which is referred to as a yod, yeah? Yod. Y-O-D, and it's referred to as the finger of God. It's very fateful, yeah? And this is what is represented by the green triangle, the narrow green triangle. So if we look here, on the 4th of July, do you see here, there is this, sometimes we refer to this as a T-square. For it to be a perfect T-square, there would have to be a transiting planet here, but in a way it is a T-square because this is Joe Biden's natal Mars. So you see here, transiting Mars is opposite transiting Saturn. And Uranus, which is the glyph here, is squaring that, yeah? Do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4 signs away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that's a square. Now, why is this important? What is Saturn? Saturn is government. Yeah, remember, government, infrastructure. The sun is government as well, but leaders in particular. Saturn is government, infrastructure, all the ordinary working people. Saturn is rules and regulations. This is why he's also the planet of lockdown. Yeah, he's going retrograde. So what happens? Lockdown is beginning to be eased, or at least, again, it's cyclical. Yeah, do you remember in the summer last year, Lockdown was eased also when Saturn was going retrograde. He does tend to go retrograde sort of like in the summer months of each year. So he's that. So if we think of the positives or the negatives of Saturn are what? Rules, stifling rules, regulations, lockdown, dogma, maybe not so much dogma, that's more Jupiter, but restrictions, delays. My nickname for him is what? Balloon popper. What's the positives? The positives are what? Discipline, rigor, karma. Be it good or bad. It is also as well. It's about all forms of structure. So if we think of Joe Biden's infrastructure plan, yeah, he had a success recently, didn't he? Where they agreed to kind of sign up with aspects of it and stuff like that. Now we have to see what shakes out, in the wash. So we know that. So rules, regulation, discipline, tradition, all of that stuff. But opposing this Saturn, which is going to be at 18 degrees, by the way, and 18 degrees is a very tricky degree. It's not a very nice one. It doesn't have nice associations. But anyway, but remember there's always positives to look at. So transiting Mars will be at 20 degrees and 7 minutes. So that's within 2 degrees. Now remember, like I said, any time there is an orb, which means like an orb of influence, imagine it's like magnets. Whenever it's 5 degrees or less, that is a very close, the energy is very strong. Yeah, so Mars is opposing Saturn. So what's Mars? Mars is acceleration, going forward, speed. Mars is passion, desire. Mars deals with what? Violence, firearms, all forms of confrontation, but he also deals with sport, yeah? He deals with passion, desire, strategy, yeah? We all need a strong Mars. But this opposing Mars is technically debilitated in the sign of Cancer. Now, Mars is a funny one. Mars is debilitated in the sign of his friend, the Moon, because remember, Sun, Moon, Mars, and Jupiter, they are all friends. They all do well in each other's signs, essentially. However, Mars is considered debilitated in the sign of Cancer, which belongs to the Moon, which is his friend. Why? Because they say it can make Mars too emotional, yeah, and short-tempered. There can be that element. The positive side is that it warms up the hearth, the home. Mars is also associated with real estate. So is the Moon. Mars and Moon basically cover real estate, yeah, but Mars in particular covers real estate. A lot of people don't know that. When Mars is in the sign of Cancer, people who are born with that aspect, which these people, anyone born, while Mars is in this position, can have problems in their family, yeah, because the sign of Cancer is about family. But if we're looking here, so what we have is a debilitated Mars opposing one of his natural enemies, Saturn. Saturn is the brakes, restriction. Mars is acceleration. So there's this push, pull, quite literally. This is a tug of war going on between these two planets here. One is representing government structures, government restrictions, and the other one is representing acceleration and wanting to bust out, yeah, and move forward. And at the same time, this is being squared by Uranus. What is Uranus all about? Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks and surprises, wanting to break free, liberation, represents rebellion, represents wanting to express one's unique identity. On top of that, he is in the sign of Aries, yeah? Sidereally, he's in the sign of Aries, not Taurus, Aries. So what's Aries all about? Aries is ruled by Mars. Aries is about being first, pioneering, innovating, being out there. So one needs to read or try and anticipate the behavior of a planet, how it's going to behave, depending on who the dispositor is, and basically who is the landlord, yeah? So Mars is the landlord of Uranus and the Moon, which actually happens to be exactly together with Uranus at the same time on this day. What is the landlord? How is the landlord likely to behave? He is debilitated in the sign of Cancer and he's squaring Saturn. So do you see, when you look at that, you're like, That's not looking so good. Yeah. So what it means is there is this tumultuous energy. Yeah. There is this kind of bursting forth. Now, on the negative side, now, if we think about Uranus is also the planet of electricity and technology as well, along with Rahu, and Mercury deals with all those things too. So he's a planet of innovation, communication, sudden flashes of insight. But he can also have this shocking element as well, a revolutionary element. But this is all, and it's conjunct the moon. So Uranus is at 19 degrees 46 minutes. The moon will be at 19 degrees 26 minutes. That's what I call a perfection. Yeah, you've got those tiny, those degree differences, but they're exactly on top of each other. Yeah, very triggering. Uranus can also be associated with earthquakes as well and stuff like that. And but if I think about this logically, Saturn, people have been under lockdown now for a long time. Yeah, free, then we get locked down, free, then we get locked down. And what's that doing? It's building up what? Frustration. Yeah, Mars in the people. Also as well, you've got Venus there as well, which is also about relationships. But Venus is also the good life, restaurants, hospitality, hotels, nice drinks, nice food, crystal, all of that stuff. She's got a very spiritual side as well, but that's more when Venus is exalted in Pisces or very, very strong in a person's chart. So what we see here is what? People are wanting to do what? Go out, enjoy themselves, because what? They've been locked up for a long time. Venus with Mars together it can be a tricky combination in a person's chart, but it's always passionate. Yeah. So the people are going to be passionate. They want to live. They're sick and tired of lockdown. What is July 4th? It's America's Independence Day. So people are going to be what? Feeling passionate. They're going to want to go out there. They're going to want to celebrate. They're going to want to let rip. Yeah. Particularly as Uranus, planet of freedom, which is the co-ruler of Aquarius, which is also about humanity in modern astrology. So the people, and the moon also represents the people. The people are really going to want to do what? Go for it and let rip. They're going to want to what? Break the rules. Yeah, Saturn represents rules. Yeah, they're going to want to break the rules. So the atmosphere is ripe for celebration, but things may go over the top. Yeah, things may go over the top. Now, why do I say that? Because if we then just superimpose this transit chart, as it were, like this is a snapshot of the day on July 4th, and actually go back to the USA chart here, we can see what houses this is happening in. So this, and for those of you that watched the live, you would have seen this, but for those that didn't, this is what I was talking about. So there's transiting Venus, like I was talking about, there's transiting Mars, yeah, on the day. But look, you'll see it's with natal Mercury, which means this is at the time when the USA was born, and it's with natal Rahu. And which house this is happening in is happening in the 8th house. Now remember this, we all know, what do I call the 8th house? The house of sex, death, and rock and roll, yeah? Anything can happen in the 8th house. It's a very volatile house. What does it deal with? It deals with secrets, deals with intrigues, can deal with shame and disgrace. It can deal with violence. It can deal with murder. It can deal with traumas. Yeah, all sorts of stuff going on. But it can also deal with, on the positive side, it can deal with psychology, can deal with kundalini. It can deal with transcendence. It can deal with healing. It also deals with money as well, other people's money in particular. So that can be the spouse's money, but it can also deal with inheritance. Yeah, when someone passes away, some people what? Inherit. It also can deal with stocks and shares, has a lot to do with the stock market, because there is that element as well of speculation, like with the 5th house is also about speculation. But the 8th house is about those exchanges. It can also, it can also deal with dark money as well. It can also deal with bankruptcy. Yeah, so we can see this is a very potent and unpredictable house. It has a strong ability to harm, but it can also heal. It all depends how we come at it, from which angle. But when we're looking at Venus, planet of relationships, with Mars, planet of war, with Mercury, natal Mercury, which is all about communications, emails, it's all about practical skills, third house, Gemini stuff, yeah, because Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, which again is all about emails and all that kind of stuff. Rahu, gobble gobble, as I referred to him, Rahu, the shadow of Rahu is lies, yeah, deceit, smoke, illusions, yeah, insatiable ambition, yeah, because he's the head without a body. That's why I call him gobble gobble. Ketu, the opposite, is the body without a head, and I call him snip snip, yeah. So here, this is, if you imagine, if you put all those factors together, relationships, anger and violence, communications and media, mixed with lies, yeah, in the 8th house of the USA chart, that's a lot to be going on July the 4th, isn't it? I'm sure you can, all of you can agree on that. You don't have to be a professional astrologer to understand that is a lot, yeah? So there is a lot that potentially could be going on. How that energy manifests, though, is, of course, free will, yeah, up to free will. The people, I'm just giving you guys a heads up, but Uranus, transiting Uranus, is squaring all of that. Opposite, we've got Saturn, natal Ketu, natal Pluto, and transiting Pluto, all in the 2nd house of values, money, security, the things that we hold dear, yeah, that's the 2nd house, self-esteem as well. So balloon popper is in the 2nd house, yeah, this is why we feel so personally restricted as well. So we've not been able to see what? Family. 2nd house is also family, so is the 4th house. In fact, houses 1 to 4 all deal with the elements of growing up. Houses 1 is yourself, 2nd house, your family, 3rd house, your siblings, 4th house is your family again, and your literal home, roof over your head. So here we've got transiting Pluto, this Pluto return back in the 2nd house of money. Yeah, what's Pluto? Pluto is the dark night of the soul. Pluto represents the 8th house, all the qualities of the 8th house, which I've said, on his own. Yeah, and he's coming back to his original place. It takes Pluto 248 years to go around the sun. He will become exactly back on himself. So his natal degree position is 6 degrees 48 minutes. On July 4th, he's going to be at 1 degree 43 minutes. So there's a little ways to go yet. Remember, he moves very slowly. He's going to come exactly back to himself around about 2024. What's due to be happening then? Another big USA election. And in 2017, there was an eclipse that went from one side of America to another. Yeah, one side of America to another. That's when Donald Trump came in power. You're going to have the same thing happen again. So what I said when I was on Marie's channel, I was like, we need to sort out this karma. America needs to dig deep and purge, yeah? Time to purge. Pluto is also about purging. That's the good side of Pluto, is that, like I said, it's like next door neighbor's cat coming in and dropping a rat on your bed. And you're like, ooh, ugh, it's disgusting, yeah? But then you have to do something about it. So I was saying in the other video, the Democrats need to stop playing nicey-nicey, you know, and Biden needs to be stop like, do you remember back in the Rose Garden in the 60s when, you know, when we used to talk about blah, 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 while the Republican Party are just bashing, you know, the Democrats over their head and basically eating money, you know, it's just, they're literally like, you know, they are just obsessed. So this stuff, the gunk, needs to come out of the works before that eclipse happens, yeah? Because eclipses are very fateful. Yeah, they're very fateful. Wherever the shadow falls, it means it's a big deal. So there's a lot of purging work to be done. A lot of stuff to be done about the values of America. Yeah, but particularly as well, this shows as well something to do with the money. because the 2-8 axis is about finances, yeah? Second house is your money. Eighth house is other people's money. And we see there's a lot going on at that time. What's also happening is that there is part of this square. So if we go back here, Uranus, Saturn, Mars, see, making this cross. And then Uranus is looking right at Joe Biden's natal Mars. Transiting Uranus and Moon, which are already on top of each other, yeah, on the 4th of July. The Moon will be at 19 degrees 26 minutes. Uranus will be at 19 degrees 46 minutes. Biden's natal Mars is at 19 degrees 32 minutes. Yeah, in the sign of Libra. Libra, do you remember before, as I said in my other videos, deals with what? The legal profession. Yeah, do you remember I said there needs to be some kind of purge in the DOJ, and now stuff is starting to happen. Yeah, Trump, you know, all this kind of whatnot. But that is very, very precise. And this falls into Joe Biden's 12th house. Now, the 12th house is also known as the house of hidden enemies. Yeah, hidden enemies. That's why I said this purge of hidden enemies needs to continue. And it can also deal with loss. And that's why I was a bit worried about Joe Biden's health. Yeah, because as a Scorpio ascendant, he has a Scorpio ascendant. I've put it in here. Yeah. So if you count round, this is the first house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah? Mars is in his 12th house. But it also rules Biden's 6th house. Now, the 6th house, as I've said before, is the house of enemies, health and overcoming obstacles. That's why I said, let's pray for Biden and make sure that he's all right to avert the worst. The 6th house is also pets. Yeah? And what happens, sadly, he lost Champ. Yeah, so it looks like here, Champ took one for the team. I'm gonna put it, in terms of energy, he took one for the team. But that is an intense focus on Joe Biden's Mars, and it's in the 12th house. Now, I think this can go two ways. Either it's just going to be like a bit of a disaster, yeah, for him, or because the leader's chart combines with the nation's chart, it could suggest that maybe America is going to have to face something from hidden enemies. Now, could that be some kind of cyber attack again? You remember Uranus is involved, yeah? Uranus is here, directly opposed. Uranus is technology, electricity. The moon is the people, yeah? And it's all together. So there could be that. But on reflection, on the positive side, it could also give Biden tremendous focus and strength to do what? To defeat his enemies as well, to purge, yeah? There are some naughty people we know that are at the DOJ, but also as well, what is also currently happening? As I speak, now remember, I'm doing this in the morning, so technically America is still kind of asleep, but maybe by the time this video is up and running, we could even have the DOJ announce what's happening with what? The Trump organization. Are they going to be indicted? We have to see. What I also said as well was Ivanka, and I know but I remember as well what one of you said, you love Ivanka. I'm out of here. You know, it made me titter actually, and you know, it shows a bit of feistiness and stuff like that. But why do I keep talking about this woman? I know you're sick to the back teeth of hearing about her and all this kind of stuff and all the fake and all the plastic. However, remember, I look at the charts and she has a connection with the USA chart. We need to remember this. Now, I don't think it's all going to be cream and roses, because once she has her birthday, her Navamsha is going to fully kick in, and there's already dodgy stuff in there. Does she belong in jail along with Jared? Yes, of course she does. Yeah. But I did a pull for her the other day, and out of 5 cards, remember, she got 2 aces and she got the Wheel of Fortune, and all of them were the right way up. She got the Ace of Swords, she got the Ace of Pentacles, yeah, which is, you know, money, big time, and she got the Wheel of Fortune the right way up, yeah? But the other ace was the Ace of Swords, like I said, which is what? The truth. Yeah, the truth. She's had to reflect and be honest about something. Now, why am I talking about this? She is key to this prosecution that's coming up. Yeah. The end, like the Trump organization is in a state of sink or swim. The only one that can actually has the chart powerful enough to potentially save the Trump organization, yeah, is Ivanka, yeah, because I compare her chart with the USA chart. However, it is a rat's nest, yeah, it's a rat's nest, and there's this element of truth that has to come forward. I think in terms of logic, what may happen, if the Trump organization is formally indicted, which will essentially make it bankrupt, that means Madame Ivanka is going to have to do what? She's going to have to testify in court. She's going to have to do what? Tell the truth under oath. To do what? To save her own skin. Remember, in her chart, she has got this channel that she has a power struggle between the energy of her father and the energy of her husband. And I said, I think she's going to choose the husband, which of course she's done. She's distanced herself from daddy, yeah? If she tells the truth in court in order to save herself, that's going to be the end of the Trump organization, yeah? She's going to be fine. It's going to be the end of the Trump organization. That's going to be a big deal, because what is Trump all about? The big lie, yeah? This could finally be the sword of truth that lacerates and punctures all of that BS that has been going on for so long. Because let me tell you this, remember I said, once that Duc L'Orange is in court, you remember I was picking up the star card, all the lights are going to be on. No matter how brainwashed you are, if they are formally taken to court and you testifying in court, everyone is going to be watching. Now, of course, he's going to have his alibis, backed up. He's going to have his I'm not well, I've got dementia, which is sort of there in the pipe works anyway, but he may overemphasize that. But that might be one of his modes of trying to escape. But going back to what I said, like with Ivanka, if she has to testify in court to save her own skin, and it means the end of the Trump organization, that will break the spell that is being held over all of America. Yeah, you'll always have your die-hard hardcores that will be like, oh, Trump's the savior. Yeah, there's no stopping them. There's, because that's just life. There are certain people that have a very entrenched position. But the sword of truth will lacerate that illusion. Once the organization is down, no one's going to be able to deny it. No one's going to be able to say, oh, you know what, the Trump organization is still around. No, it won't be, because it would be bankrupt, yeah? That means all of the Trump Tower things, wherever it says Trump, all of those things have to come down, yeah? And that's why I said it's very key. Remember I said it will be a woman that will bring down Donald Trump. Now, it could be any woman. There's many women that he's wronged, yeah? We see Melania's just out of there, yeah? She's probably shopping and just literally biding her time, like, when can I bloody divorce this douchebag, yeah? So it could be a female from the legal profession, etc. But odds are looking, the way it's more likely to plan out, it could be Ivanka. And this is why I keep mentioning her, because if this is the case, this is historic. It's already historic, but this is historic. This will decide a big part of the future of America, if you have freedom or not. This is a big deal, a big deal. And when we look here, on the 4th of July, we have something, what I could say is the Yod, yeah? Which means the finger of God is present on the 4th of July. There's some kind of big news around those, let's say a width of 2 weeks, because remember, planets have to move and their energies have to kind of work out, but it could be 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. So we're coming into a very fateful period. As I speak, by the time that you're watching this video, they could be sending the indictment papers, or maybe have they has someone, maybe Ivanka behind the scenes, been able to kind of maneuver as well? Yeah, so they don't face that. We have to see what happens, but we're coming into very, very karmic times. So there's all of that going on, and it's going on in the eighth house, yeah, which again is other people's monies, but this is also about scandals, yeah, corruption and what? Bankruptcy. Maybe there's a big company which has had a huge effect on America that goes bankrupt, yeah. You see, we need to look at those kind of energies. So there's stuff there. Also as well, there are issues as well with the homicide rate as well. We could see this really kind of peaking, and I'm just hoping that there's no kind of mass whatever, you know, on July 4th. So what I would say to people, be careful with crowds and stuff. Celebrate, have a great time, but if you can celebrate in your back garden or just in your local area, but just avoid places that are just where there are too many people gathering, because there's been, well, I can't remember the exact number, I think it was 260 something mass shootings in America since January. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If that is the case, someone could come up with a precise number. The Mercury retrograde's over now, and I'm feeling a lot clearer, because you remember before I was saying the wrong names of things. I said Sarkozy instead of Macron, and you know, whatever. Sometimes this has just happened, but my mind's feeling great now. So that Mercury retrograde's over. So coming back to that, pay attention to those things. Now, when it comes to September, transiting Jupiter here will go back into sidereal Capricorn, which is his debilitation point. Saturn and Jupiter have a big effect over the economy. So I'm anticipating, now he goes back on the 14th of September. So it could be as the fall approaches, there might be some kind of correction. However, there is a factor which is called Nietzsche Banga, and it means when Jupiter is with Saturn, when he goes backwards, yeah, because he's sort of hovering on the moon of America with Neptune, which is secrets and lies. The moon is the ruler of the eighth house. In the third house of media, lots of stuff is going to be divulged. We're going to have lots of secrets come out, even stuff about aliens and all that kind of stuff. Like we've been seeing, that there could be some big disclosure. But anyway, I digress. They say when a planet is debilitated, but it's with the ruler of that sign, Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius in old money, the debilitation, elements of the debilitation of Jupiter will be cancelled out a bit, yeah? So there's a correction, but because of Saturn being there, it's going to give Jupiter a bit of a boost. And what's Saturn? Infrastructure and all that stuff. So we could see maybe there's a correction in the economy, but Biden passes his infrastructure package, and then the economy grows and recovers. Yeah, that's how I think about it logically. But let's not forget as well, on the 4th of July, yeah, there's this Yod here, yeah? And that's basically when you have two planets that are at 60 degrees to each other. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, you know, that's the 60-degree angle. And then you have another one that's at 150 degrees. Yeah, and it's, so if we go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is what creates the finger of God. So this is at the very least going to be a 4th of July to remember. I know that was quite detailed, that element there, but I had to just go over that detail again. There's a lot going on, particularly as the sun is in Ardra and it's with Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and natal sun, yeah, transiting sun is with all of these planets as well. Huge activations going on, big changes, big tectonic shifts. So, so that's that covered there. So you can, obviously I'll upload that video and you can just reference it again whenever you feel you need to have a look. Many people have told me that they actually watch my videos multiple times. So again, thanks so much. And just to recap, so that's that part covered. I'll do a Brit special where I'll be looking at Matt Hancock, the Ministry of Defence, Brexit, the UK Binance. Oh yeah, and the Bitcoin. This could also have stuff to do with Bitcoin as well, by the way. Mercury is technology, so is Uranus. So there could be news about Bitcoin, and we've banned Binance in the UK. So there's that. And then, of course, I'll also be looking at Lilibet Diana in my Brit special. Then I'll, of course, I know I'm going over this again, but just as a reminder, I'll also look at India's Prime Minister Modi, what's going on there. And then I'll also look at inspirational characters. Yeah, so we'll take a little look at Jill Biden. That will be a few videos away. And we will take it from there. So again, if any of you would like a consultation with me, then feel free, of course, to visit my website, which is thearchetypalblueprint.com. And book for July. I'm just taking a little bit of time off from consultation so I can get this course together, which I'm working through in my mind. But I think I need to go a little bit faster. Many of you have been booking for July already, so thank you so much. Oh, let me do a pull as well. I'll end with a pull. So of course, visit thearchetypalblueprint.com. Of course, I do tarot as well on there as well. So whatever you need in those regards, just give me a visit. And let's do a pull on the 4th of July. Yeah, 4th of July, I'm going to pull 5 cards. What's going on for the 4th of July? And that will end the video. It's getting a little bit long, but you know what it's like with me. I always intend to start shorter and then it ends up being longer. But you guys don't mind anyway. It's all juicy information. Okay, so I've got my cards. Let me pick here. 4th of July. 4th of July. What's the energy of 4th of July? What's the energy of 4th of July? See how the planets will come through. That. All right, let's have a little look. Okay. All right, so we've got the 6 of Swords, we've got the Page of Cups, we've got all right. This is quite interesting. So here we are. We have got the 6 of Swords. Yeah, 6 of Swords is about going on a journey. So if we look here, so this suggests in terms of this is like moving on in some kind of way. Yeah, moving on. But as it's reversed, the way I interpret that, it can deepen the introspection of the card. If we look here, look, you can see there's a mother with her child. Yeah. And then you see the gondolier, doing all that kind of stuff, basically propelling things. So this is about thoughts. This is about reflection, wanting to move to smoother waters. So here, that introspection is intensified. Yeah. And this could also be almost feeling like a bit stuck as well, because this is normally about a card moving forward. So there is this element of where America is going to feel stuck potentially in some aspect. This 4th of July is going to make people introspect and reflect in some kind of way before moving forward. We have the Page of Cups. Yeah. Now, as you know, my nickname for this card now is what? Stinky fish. Yeah. There. This can also mean like pages. They're all about messages. And the Page of Cups in particular is about surprise. Yeah. So there could be some kind of surprise on this 4th of July. Here we have the Sword of Truth, yeah, the Ace. When it's the right way up, it's all about the ultimate truth. Inspiration. The Ace is really about inspiration coming forward, but here it's reversed. So again, there's this introspective element about the truth of something. There could be a surprise that really makes people kind of think. Yeah, there could be really something that can make people think. Then we have the 10 of Wands, yeah, and it's reversed as well. When the 10 of Wands is the right way up, it's all about carrying heavy burdens, but you see he's doing it inefficiently, but you're trying to make your way towards the goal, yeah, the village, wherever it is you're going, but there's a lot of huff and puff. When it's reversed, this can speak about wasted energy, wasted efforts, yeah? A lot of people might be asking themselves, was it worth it? Maybe this could be to do with the Trump organization as well. Or it could be truth comes out in such a stage where a lot of people maybe that were involved in conspiracy theories were just like, you know what, we need to drop this, yeah? Because this means also as well dropping burdens. Let me have a slurp. dropping burdens because it's just all too much and it wasn't worth the hassle. And then what we have here, we have the Knight, yeah, the Knight of Cups. Now, this is also known as the Lover card, yeah? This is one of, not the Lover card, but it is someone that comes along and whispers sweet nothings into your ear, yeah, which can be nice and very romantic, but one can end up being what? Disappointed, yeah? Because this is the night that sleeps with someone and then the next day they're gone, yeah? So when we put that in the context of having to reflect on something, on a message that is about some kind of stinky fish message, where we need to ponder and really ponder on the truth and wonder if all the hoo-ha and hoopla was worth it, because we were seduced, or some people were seduced by a message, yeah? And then what we're looking at, the Trump organization. So for me, I think this is going to be big news in some way for the Trump organization. There could be some violence and stuff on the day. We have to see, but everything is based on free will. But when I look at that, that suggests to me that there could be some big disclosure there that is going to make people think. But it could even be something on aliens. It could be anything, yeah? But it's going to be a big deal. So I've covered everything. And again, if you'd like a consultation with me, then please visit my website, thearchetypalblueprint.com. And I will see you on the next one. My next video will be, like I said, a Brit special. And then hopefully see you all again on Saturday, fingers crossed. And I wish everyone a happy day. And I just want to say, keep up with the prayers. It's helping. Wish for the highest good. Let the purge, or the legal matters and all the stuff going on in sidereal Libra, yeah, where all this energy is focused, let that be a cleansing, a purging, yeah, of all of the cra that's been going on, because it can't continue, yeah. This has to end. It must stop. And I think this is all going to come to a head very, very soon. It already is coming to a head. So pray for the highest good. It's helping, it's working. There will be challenges, but keep hope alive in your heart. Be sensible. Don't go into too many crowded places, yeah, because there's a lot of like passion and a lot of weird stuff kind of going on. But really as well, I want everyone to enjoy their 4th of July ceremony as well. And let that be a reaffirming of America's purpose, because I still stick by what I said. If this infrastructure package is passed, yeah, and it's passed in a good way that Biden wants, then America will become the wonder of the world. You'll become green. You know, your greenhouse gases are gonna drop down. All the people that are denying climate change and stuff, they're gonna have jobs. Yeah, they're gonna be working on solar panels, and they're gonna stop talking about saying that it's all a hoax, yeah? Look, all the fires and all that kind of stuff that's going on. So if that infrastructure package is passed, then that's going to be great for America. If it's not, then this is dicey stuff, but you don't need me to tell you that. So go for the highest good, stay positive, stick with it, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, cheers. Bye-bye.